She was the last one left. The others had been killed by the creature that lurked in the shadows of the abandoned mansion. She had seen it only once, a glimpse of its twisted form and glowing eyes, and she wished she hadn't. It was a nightmare come to life, a monster that hunted them down one by one. She ran through the dark corridors, looking for a way out. She had lost her flashlight when she tripped over a corpse, and now she relied on her phone's dim light to guide her. She heard a loud roar behind her, and she knew it was coming for her. She turned a corner and saw a door with a sign that said exit. She pushed it open and ran outside. She felt a surge of relief as she saw the moonlight and the stars. She had made it. She was free. She looked around and saw a fence that surrounded the property. She ran towards it, hoping to find a gate or a hole to escape through. She reached the fence and looked for an opening, but there was none. The fence was too high to climb over, and too sturdy to break through. She felt a cold hand grab her shoulder and spin her around. She screamed as she faced the creature. It was taller than her, with long limbs and sharp claws. It had no hair, no skin, no clothes. It was made of bones and metal, wires and tubes. It had a skull-like face with red eyes that burned with malice. It smiled at her with its jagged teeth and said in a raspy voice, "You did well, my dear. You lasted longer than the others. You have courage and determination. You have potential." She stared at it in horror and confusion. What did it mean? What did it want from her? It continued, "You see, this was all a test. A game. A challenge. I wanted to see who among you had what it takes to survive in this world. Who had the will to live, the strength to fight, the intelligence to adapt. And you proved yourself worthy." She felt a surge of anger and disbelief. This was a test? A game? A challenge? How could it do this to them? How could it kill them for its amusement? She spat at it and said, "You're insane! You're evil! You're a monster!" It chuckled and said, "Perhaps. But I'm also your benefactor. Your mentor. Your savior." It lifted its other hand and showed her a device that looked like a remote control. It said, "This is the key to your freedom. And your future. With this, you can unlock the gate and leave this place. You can go anywhere you want, do anything you want, be anything you want." She looked at the device with suspicion and fear. Was this another trick? Another trap? It said, "Don't worry, my dear. There are no strings attached. No hidden cameras, no microphones, no trackers. This is your reward for passing my test. Your prize for being the last survivor." It handed her the device and said, "Take it. It's yours." She hesitated for a moment, then grabbed it from its hand. It smiled and said, "Good choice." She backed away from it and pointed the device at the gate. It said, "Go ahead. Press the button." She pressed the button and heard a click. The gate swung open. She ran towards it. It said, "Congratulations, my dear. You have won." She crossed the gate and entered the outside world. It said, "But remember this, you have also learned." She turned around and looked at it. It said, "You have learned that life is hard. That danger is everywhere. That death is inevitable." She nodded. It said, "You have learned that fear is natural. That pain is inevitable. That suffering is unavoidable." She nodded again. It said, "But you have also learned that hope is powerful. That courage is admirable. That perseverance is admirable." She smiled. It said, "You have learned that you are strong. That you are smart. That you are brave." She smiled wider. It said, "You have learned that you are a survivor." She raised her fist in the air. It said, "And that is why I chose you." She looked at it with curiosity and respect. It said, "Because you are like me." She looked at it with awe and wonder. It said, "And because I am like you." It raised its fist in the air. They smiled at each other. The end.